Why are you looking at me like that?
I've got a tweet here from a guy called Roger Stokes. He says, Stokesy says, Jason Cundy, I bet there aren't many fans who agree with the absolute tosh you're coming out with, which you do every show. Bear that in mind, every show.
Every show.
I don't know why talkSPORT keep you on. Listeners must go to Radio 4 rather than listen to your tosh. Well, why do you listen, Roger?
Because we're massive.
Why do you listen?
Because we're massive.
But he says that you listen every night. Stokesy says every
what
night.
A guy. Love
every
him.
night you come out of tosh. Yeah, you know. How do you know I come out of tosh every night? By the way, he says, I don't like Jamie Horror, but over you I would. I don't know what that means.
Let's go to...
Stokesy sounds like a good guy.
Yeah, I like Stokesy already. Let's go to Cole, who's a Liverpool fan. Cole.
Hello, guys. You all right?
We're good, Cole.
I just wanted to say that I agree with Jamie. We want other players to do well. Obviously, not against my team, but for the league and what it gives us as a fan as well.
Thank you.
You want them to do well because it's a spectacle. It's good for the game.
Exactly. You're absolutely right, Cole. The last thing you want to see is best players come over here, foul, and it's not, and you miss out on them opportunities of seeing fantastic football matches.
Yeah, I mean, when it doesn't work out, I mean, obviously you're looking at Romelu Lukaku now leaving. I mean, it's not worked out for him, but I don't think Chelsea played to his strengths.
Yeah.
He's a fantastic player, and, he's part of the 100 Club.
Yeah.
Goals in the Premier League are hard to get, and if you're scoring 100 goals, it means you're not a bad player.
Yeah. Do you remember when Ronaldinho turned up for Barcelona at Real Madrid at the Bernabeu, scored a hat-trick? That was two rival teams that hate each other.
Yeah.
Ronaldinho got a standing ovation from the Real Madrid fans because of the performance he put in that night. That is fans appreciating a spectacle and greatness. No, Jace?
No, I can appreciate it. Don't misinterpret what I'm saying here, right? I can appreciate what rival players do. I just don't want to see it. I don't want to see it.
Nil-nils?
Yeah.
We see a load of nil-nils. Super Sunday, sat there in front of the TV. Super Sunday's on.
You can't have that in the Premier League. The Prem's the best league in the world. You want the best players at the top of the game. That's what it's about.
Carl, so Carl, next season, do you go to Liverpool?
Yeah.
Okay, so next season, Carl, is a scenario for you. Ronaldo turns up for Manchester United, scores a hat-trick. You get beat 5-0. 5-0 by Man United. Harry Maguire scores one, and Jesse Lingard, he's signed again, scores
Lingard.
Yeah, he's just signed again. Here's the scenario. Would you stand up and clap, Carl?
Obviously, that's minute, but I think you're missing the whole point.
No. Answer the question, Carl. Carl.
No, obviously, I don't want us to get beat, and Ronaldo scored 3 goals, but you still want them to do well, not against your team. Like Jamie said, he doesn't want players to do well against Tottenham, and you just don't want them to do well anywhere in the league. I think that's, it's not the greatest of attitudes.
But Carl, if Haaland does well this season, Liverpool suffer.
Well, no, we've got Nunes, and we've got other players. They only won the league by
They don't care about other teams. They don't care about other players. They just worry about themselves.
Carl,
that's what you are. You're a bitter Chelsea fan because you know you can't keep up with Liverpool and Manchester City.
Carl, do you want Haaland?
Exactly, Jamie.
Carl, do you want Haaland to be a success? A simple question, yes or no, Carl? Do you want Haaland to be a success at Man City next season?
Well,
no, Carl.
Listen, I think what you should be saying is, do you want them to win the league? Where Haaland?
No. That's not.
Haaland's going to be successful no matter what. He's a phenomenal talent. He's going to score goals whether we like it or not.
Carl, do you want it to be a success?
No.
Well, there you go. You just answered my question, Carl.
Listen, because obviously I don't want it to be a success against us. But every on the other end, look, God, you're so bitter.
No, he's so bitter.
Of course I'm bitter, Carl. That's
so bitter. You are typical Chelsea fan. I don't. Hopefully, Cole, next season I ain't got to.
But Carl, you just answered. Carl,
where's Dean Saunders? Dean, where's Dean?
You just answered your own question, Carl.
Yeah, listen. I think. Look, Jace, it's a double-edged sword, isn't it? Really? Because you want them to do well, but then you don't want them to do that well where they win the league.
No, Carl. It's very simple. You want them to fail and flop.
Do you know what? I'll go flop because obviously.
There you go. Didn't take you long, Carl, did it?
Jamie. Don't you think it's a bit of a terrible question to ask someone anyway, given that.
You phoned up, Carl.
No, it's a terrible. Yeah, but you're asking him about Haaland. It's a direct rival.
I think
it's a direct rival.
You don't want them to do well, but I think because Chelsea aren't going to do well next season, I think that's why Jason's going to be in his bonnet, you know?
Carl,
he's rattled, Carl. He's rattled.
Carl. Whether Chelsea in the Championship, League One, I don't want anyone else to do well in that league. As simple as that.
Well, that's I
hope Nunes flops.
Lukaku did, so you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you
How many
happy?
flops have you had? We've done that last night.
Don't do that.
How many flops have Chelsea had? They've had 5 of the top 12.
They had quite a lot, haven't they, over the years?
And I bet you're happy about it, Carl, aren't you?
But I tell you what, when De Bruyne flopped, I was, because you could see he was a gifted player, you know.
Yeah,
so
and Chelsea ruined him.
Yes, he did. Yes, yeah.
All right, Carl.
As well. Torres flopped.
Yeah, Carl, brilliant, mate. Thanks for your call. Thanks for being on my side on this one. Let's go to Mark, who's a Chelsea fan. Let's go, Mark.
Evening, Jamie. Evening, Jason.
How are you, Mark?
No, Mark.
Yeah, not too bad. Listen, I'm 100% with Jason on this.
Of course you are. You're a Chelsea fan.
Yeah, but listen, you don't understand it. It's a win-win for the league. You see, if they come over and they're successful, there are more eyes on the league. And if they come over and they flop, then it just perpetuates the reputation that it's the toughest league in the world to succeed in. So it's a win-win.
No, I disagree. I disagree. If they flop...
Mark, I wish I thought of that for the show, Mark. I wish I thought of that for the show.
And this argument that it's all right for them to do all right against everybody else, just not your own team.
Yeah.
If strikers run riot all over everyone else and only don't score against us, we will lose.
That is a typical Chelsea fan, knowing, because you're worried about Haaland coming over and Nunes coming over as Liverpool, and they're going to run away with you again, and you're going to be competing with Arsenal and Tottenham.
You can't be angry with Chelsea fans just because we're more passionate about our team than everyone else.
No, absolutely not. All right, let's twist it up a little bit for you, Mark. Let me try and get into a Chelsea fan's head here.
Got him. I'm in.
Jack Grealish, Mark. Yeah. Plays for Manchester City, had a tough season.
You have to imagine winning a few cups first.
Hold on. Give me a couple of seconds.
Jack Grealish.
Hold on. Shall we go to a break? Maybe that will help Jamie just...
No, I can imagine exactly what it feels like.
Come back tomorrow. Should we come back?
Jack Grealish plays for Manchester City. All right, had a tough season. Still won the Premier League, by the way. But had a tough season personally. Forget Man City winning the league. Forget them being successful. As a person, for Jack Grealish, he's got a World Cup coming up that we want him to be involved in because he's going to be massive for England if he's at his best. Do you want to see him start the season on fire?
Listen, I want to see him do well for England. I don't want to see him do well for City.
He's got to do well for City to do well for England.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does. He don't get in the team.
Oh, really? So how's Harry Kane doing for England? How's he doing for Spurs?
Amazing. He's our best player.
Not at the beginning of last season.
It was the start of last season. That's completely.
The two are mutually exclusive.
Jack Grealish has to play well for Man City to play for England. He has to. Simple as that.
Once you've got skin in the game, the opposition is the opposition, and that's that.
Couldn't care less about Harry Kane.
All right, let's go to Steve. Go on, Mark.
On top of that, I should point out, obviously, I'm bitter as well because Chelsea haven't signed a decent striker they've made any use of since Costa.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't worry, Mark.
Loads of flops. Full of flops,
There's
Chelsea.
10 weeks left the transfer window, Mark. Sit tight. Sit tight.
All right, Mark, thanks for your call. Let's go to Steve, who's a Liverpool fan. Steve.
Jamie?
All right, Steve.
Mate, the world's gone mad. I thought the world went mad when the pandemic hit. Then Kate Bush got number one. But I think you coming out with what you're coming out with is the craziest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Who? Me or Jason?
You, Jamie. You.
Go on.
No, Jason. It's never Jason. It's always you.
Go on. What? Because I want to see. Because I want to see professionals do well.
You're telling me that you want every player to play really well.
I don't want to see. No. I want to.
They're going to be. You forget they're going to be stronger in the World Cup. So all these non-English players, for example, because you keep banging on about the World Cup, all these international players that you want to see be on.
No, I don't care about every player, but when I see players come over here, like Haaland, like Jack Grealish making a big money move, £100 million, huge pressure on his shoulders, I want to see him do well. I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him flop because I know how hard that would be for him to deal with.
All right, Jamie. If Gareth Southgate told Jack Grealish, if you score a hat trick against Tottenham, you're guaranteed a slot. He's
not going to say that, though, is he? He's not going to say that. He's not going to say that. You're asking a stupid question.
Come on, hypothetical. How is that?
It's not a it's a stupid question because he's not going to say that.
No, it's not stupid. No, keep going, Steve.
If he asks, no.
Steve, keep going.
Because it's a stupid question.
Can't change tactics. That's stupidity too. So why can't you answer that question? Hypothetically, would you want Grealish to score a hat trick against Tottenham if it guarantees him a slot at the World Cup?
I'm not going to answer that question because it's a stupid question. No, it's not because it's a stupid question.
No, because you wouldn't want him to do it because you do not want to see other players.
But Gareth Southgate's not going to ask him that question. Jack Grealish doesn't get into the England side if he scores a hat trick against Tottenham. He gets into the England team and plays and helps England at a World Cup if he's consistently good at the start of the season for Manchester City.
But at the same time, along the way, Tottenham are going to get hit by Grealish, won't they?
We're not because Man City are useless against Tottenham. So I'm not worried about that.
Oh, come on, give over.
I want to see Jack Grealish do well. I want to see players do well.
Listen, you talking about before about appreciating, yeah? I appreciate Son. I think Son is a world-class player. But instead of him running for 60 yards, I'd rather him do a U-turn and score an own goal. Because I don't want him to do well. But I can still appreciate that he's world-class. You
appreciate greatness, though. So you appreciate... But for you to appreciate it, that means you have to have a love for the fact that he's a very good player. You've got to enjoy watching him play.
Imagine Haaland every week is playing well, because you want him to play well. And in the World Cup...
He's not going to the World Cup, Steve. He's not playing in the World Cup.
Against us. He buys the bracelet. Okay, who then? You give me any name, any international player that's going to be playing against us in the World Cup. If they're playing well every week, there's more chance of them scoring.
I back England with the players that we've got. I would back England with the players that we've got to go and win the World Cup anyway, regardless of who's playing well.
You want Havertz to play well, yeah? You want Havertz to play well,
I don't care if he plays well. No, I don't care if he plays well. Because he's been at Chelsea and I don't like Chelsea. But I appreciate great players doing well.
I love football. I want all the players to play well. So you want Havertz to play well every week and then he'll bag a few goals against us.
Jay wants Havertz to play well. Jay, just you want Havertz to play well, didn't you? You want to see...
You want Havertz to play well.
He does.
I
want to see English players do well. I want to see Mason Mount. I want to see Reece James.
Havertz.
Why can't you say on national radio?
I'm not bothered about Havertz. I'm not bothered about
Haaland.
Yeah, Haaland, because he's just come to the Premier League.
So's Havertz.
He's been here. How long has he been here?
2 years.
Exactly. So why do I care about that?
Now. So after 2 years, you can flop.
Yeah, after 2 years, you can flop, do what you want. But I'm talking about as a player, as a fellow professional, that you've been involved in the game, who loves the game, who loves watching it, sits in front of the telly every single night. Me and you sit and watch games. We love watching great games of football. We love seeing end-to-end stuff. We love seeing players do things out of the ordinary. We sit there and we go, wow. Yeah. What do you want to do? Sit in front there every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night, Champions League nights, Europa League nights. Me and you sit there and watch 0-0s because Jason Cundy don't want anyone else to do well apart from Chelsea.
Couldn't care less. Hope they flop.